Thanks for joining me for Life in Surround. This is just a quick message before I head off from home for a couple of weeks on military duty. I just got back from an Alaskan vacation and I have a 1 day turnaround to pack and get back out the door. I kind of left this channel on a bit of a cliffhanger with the last video, just talking about some of my gripes with the surround industry lately and my recent fascination with quad vinyl and also with stereo vinyl. So I wanted to give like a bit of a cheerier update to kind of discuss some surround music news, the direction of this channel, and then also to announce that I'm going to be getting more active on another channel of mine. And so I'll tell you more about that later. This channel will remain focused on music in surround from 4.0 quad on up to Atmos, RO3D, or whatever they think of next. So just wanted to give like a bit of a cheerier look at the state of the surround music industry right now. We are seeing a lot of really desirable titles released only in mega box sets, some of which are way, way, way too expensive just compared to, similar sets. And I guess time will tell whether, Moving Pictures Super Deluxe sells out or if they overpriced it. But in any case, it's way, way, way out of reach for a lot of fans. So you're kind of stuck streaming the Atmos version, and that does sound good to my ears, but it is lossy. And I think it's well known that I prefer if releases also receive like an inexpensive solo Blu-ray or maybe a Blu-ray CD package, something of that sort. There are labels who are faithful to do that, and I'm very grateful. And there are those that want to lock the surround mix in a mega box, and there always have been, and there probably always will be. But we still do have, like I said, some labels releasing affordable Blu-rays. Super Deluxe Edition is getting involved in that. We have Sony Japan releasing standalone SACDs of ultra classic titles. Toto 4 is releasing soon. The famous Elliott Shiner 5.1 mix. Hoping that Santana Caravanserai will drop soon. That would be super crazy. And we have smaller labels like Mary Fall's label. Mary Fall is releasing a new surround album soon, and I am gleefully looking forward to covering that. May be able to have like a chat with her or with Mark Doyle. Roland Prent is making, from what I understand, his grand entrance into surround mixology with this new Mary Fall album. And I may or may not have already heard it, and it may or may not be completely awesome. So anyway, definitely looking forward to sharing that with you all. We have Bruce Sword, and both solo works and The Pineapple Thief and remixes for other groups. Bruce Sword just very, very rapidly has become a master of 5.1 and now Atmos. And together with his partner Steve Kitch, who's also a member of the Pineapple Thief, covering the mastering role from vinyl LP to stereo CD, stereo DVD, Blu-ray, 5.1 surround, Atmos. They just nail it. Very, very, very superb mixes that suit the music. And I happen to like Bruce Sword's solo stuff and the Pineapple Thief quite a bit. And there's a brand new The Pineapple Thief release. It hasn't quite hit my house yet, but certainly people in UK and Europe and some people like on the eastern board of the US already have it. And it's a throwback to the earlier catalog. Gavin Harrison went and recreated drum parts, and the band basically redid a bunch of back catalog songs. I believe that release is called Give It Back, and it's available in stereo, 5.1 Atmos, so I'm definitely going to be covering that. I have been a fan of the Pineapple Thief, like many of you, since their Where We Stood magnificent surround release, just basically a live Blu-ray, concert Blu-ray, but packed with historic EPs and albums with all kinds of surround options, and it's to date the best value in surround that I've ever come across. So anyway, Where We Stood, and the Pineapple Thief have done several albums since then, and they definitely have like a current style. It's alternative rock with some prog influences. It tends to be a little bit on the mellow side, but can rock out too. So, yeah, this is an introduction to their back catalog, and then from what I understand, Bruce has a massive back catalog project in store for us. I think it will take the form of 2 or more box sets that will see well nigh the entire back catalog remixed into surround. And then there's Fish from Marillion. He's putting out some albums in Atmos. So, goodness, we have Steven Wilson is always involved in remixes, and those come out in various forms. Tears for Fears, came out on a standalone Blu-ray that was affordable. And then, Kiss Destroyer came out in a box set that wasn't all that affordable. We have his involvement with Porcupine Tree. They have a new album releasing in surround, and so I'll certainly be covering that. We have Stephen W. Taylor putting out solo work and exquisite remixes like for Be-Bop Deluxe. And I'm really hoping that eventually labels like UME, Atlantic Records, whoever has to get involved, will green light him to remix some of the albums for which he was an original engineer, like Presto by Rush. That would be amazing. Speaking of Rush, will we have more deluxe sets coming? I know that Signals was, kind of a polarizing album for the fan base, but it sold well. It has subdivisions on it, which has certainly always been a crowd pleaser, and it gets some radio play. And then following subdivisions, the entire rest of the album is just freaking amazing. I love that they didn't put out Moving Pictures Part 2, but just went like exit stage left, as it were, and took us in a wildly different direction. And I love Signals. I love Grace Under Pressure, which comes after it. And, so we'll see if any kind of like really shocking, surprising remixes get announced in the coming years. And let me see. We have Richard Chicky has really stepped up and become currently one of my favorite engineers with recent projects for The Tragically Hip and Rush. Just absolutely giving me what I want in a surround mix that, should honor the original album, but really open it up and help you to experience it in a new and wonderful way. So looking forward to whatever he has coming down the pipeline. He has indicated to me that some of his works should be hitting the public sooner rather than later, so that's very cool. And we'll see if Bob Clearmountain comes out with anything that gets public release in the near future. He's been involved in a lot of remix projects for the band in the last couple of years, and I love some albums by the band, but not all of them. So, I've slowed down on following that work just because they're always packaged in a box set. You really, really, really need to love the album to make it worth it. We'll see if there's any more Beatles or, Apple Records, Abbey Road type of stuff coming down the pipeline. Maybe George Harrison, Ringo Starr, John Lennon, Paul McCartney, Beatles, any of that would be fantastic. We have, like I said, Roland Prent is making his surround debut, at least for me, at least to my knowledge, and I'm super excited about that. So per usual, there are a number of mixing engineers that I've locked onto. We'll see if Andy Bradfield or Avril McIntosh have anything for us in store in the near future. And whether or not they do, Marillion seem to be on schedule to keep releasing some deluxe sets of their back catalog, and probably any new albums they do. Oh dear. Well, so yeah, that's a bit of surround news, and I intend to keep covering some legacy stuff. Like, I've for a long time had a Dark Side of the Moon video planned to look at all the versions and compare them, and to talk about how to like maximize your value if you haven't heard it in surround yet. A Night at the Opera, same thing. Genesis in surround, I've gotten about 1,000,000 requests to do a Genesis in surround video. So I keep planning to do some legacy stuff, new stuff that interests me. I'm going to keep covering kind of the differences between streaming versus physical versus download, lossy versus lossless. But I'm going to be focusing, I want to say exclusively, on stuff that I really love. I'm really entering a time of my life where I don't have time to be a cheerleader for stuff that really doesn't impress me, or to even really give it much time. So I'm going to be focusing on stuff that I love, and to that point, I'm going to be covering more like music in mono, music in stereo, whether it's a cassette, CD, an LP, whatever medium, streaming, headphones, hi-fi set, whatever. If it's enjoyable to me and I want to share it, I'm going to be doing that. If there isn't a strong surround connection, I'm going to be putting that material up on my Mike Vieira YouTube channel, and I will link it below, and I'll see if I can get it to pop up during this video in post. But at the least, I will link it below. So I encourage you to check out that channel, subscribe, ring the notification bell. If you want to be involved with a wider discussion of music, not just surround. So I've spent several years being very, very fixated on surround music. That has been great. It has exposed me to artists that I never would have discovered otherwise, and it has provided a natural kind of focus. And so I appreciate that. It so happens, it seems to me that the surround industry is kind of imploding right now, or, it's really, really shifting over to streaming Atmos. And that has limited appeal for me. Though I just discussed some other viable options. There's lossless downloads. There are the occasional affordable physical release. But over time, I have found it difficult to be excited about streaming Atmos. So if that's where the surround industry keeps heading, then, I'll continue to focus on the collection that I've amassed, and I'll keep searching for coveted titles. I know some of you are ahead of me on the burnout curve for surround music. Some of you are behind me. Some of you are right where I'm at. And then the surround industry may, continue in an unhealthy trajectory from my point of view, or it may, get its crap together and, start pumping out stuff that we love at a price that we can bear. So we'll see. But, as it is, recently I've just really realized a reignited appreciation for other forms of music, particularly stereo and mono vinyl. And so I'll be sharing that on my Mike Vieira channel. Anything that has a strong surround focus, I will leave here. And in either case, I look forward to sharing music that I love with you all, artists that I'm passionate about, engineers that I appreciate, music that touches me, mixes that are awesome, and yeah, we'll keep rolling along. Life is full of change, and I'm just trying to change with it to maintain my passion for music, including, I may begin composing and recording again soon. And anything that seems worth it, I'll definitely make sure it receives a surround mix. So you'll learn more about that over on my Mike Vieira channel. And yeah, I guess that's all for now. There is still plenty of surround music to enjoy, both new and, for those of us that have amassed collections and that are still growing collections. And there's more to life than surround music. There's stereo and mono too. And of course, there's more to life than just music too. There's love and friendship and family and happiness and helping one another and overcoming struggles, learning, growing, enjoying nature, the beauty of the world around us. All these things that make life worth living. And whether you're living life silently or in mono or stereo or living life in surround, I am grateful that you're here to share it with me. And in a couple of weeks, I'll be back from my military excursion, and we'll get the Mike Vieira and the Life in Surround channels rolling full steam ahead with only stuff I love. And hopefully some of that will resonate with you as well. So until then, bye for now.